We've got a full selection every year, every version.
Welcome to the Gospel According to Kinison. We're in beautiful, sunny Southern California, and we're doing a little different program today. We're not in our office, and we're probably not really going to get into any scriptures. Where we're at, though, I'm very excited, and I'm very pumped up about it. We are in Newport Beach, California, and we are here at the Coleman race for the cure. There's thousands and thousands of people. 10,000 people are going to be doing the walk today, and we're down here because Sherry is a 13-year breast cancer survivor, and we're involved with the Breast Link organization. Be aware, we're on the national board, and we are affiliated with the best breast cancer surgeon in the United States and probably in the world, Dr. John West. If he wasn't so busy, I would have had him over here and introduced you this morning. And we're excited. And you see all of these survivors. They did a beautiful presentation just with the survivors sitting on the steps, and people that have beat cancer. I want to tell you something. You want to do the best you can do for yourself on breast cancer. Self-exam is the best possible way. Early detection is what will cure cancer. Early detection. That takes self-examination. No one knows your breast like you do. If there's anything that you think is unusual, you just have this feeling, go and get it checked, and it can be taken care of. For people to die today with breast cancer is those that are waiting just too long. And so I want to encourage you on doing that. Also, I want to say something this morning. It has been a rough week in the world. Mexico is having earthquakes. You've got Houston or Texas and Florida that have suffered the floods and the hurricanes. You've got Puerto Rico that has just been wiped out and devastated. You got the Dominicans just been devastated. And I am so proud. I want to tell you something. I am so proud to be an American. I am so proud. I'm one of those individuals you're never going to see taking a knee. I'm one of those individuals that when the national anthem is going on, I don't care where I'd stop and I stand there and respect it. I love this country. I respect this country. And it does bother me when I see some of the things that are going on. But let me tell you about our country. With these disasters, or any disaster in the world, we're the first ones that step up to the plate. We are the first ones that step up to the plate to help other people. That's America. That's the United States of America. And before some of you say, well, you know, Bill, you've had it easy in life. Let me tell you where we started. Me and my brothers and I, and my family, we started in the projects in Peoria, Illinois. And then we moved up from there and moved into a church. Only in America could you do that. You seen what my brother Sam did, coming out of that poverty and coming out of that kind of stuff. You've seen what he accomplished in his life. My brother Richard was born severely mentally handicapped and blind, and God healed him. And he ended up being, in my opinion, the best evangelist I've ever seen. I haven't done too bad for myself. I've won a Grammy. I wrote a best-selling book. I've done productions that I've won awards on. We're working on a docu-movie that'll be out in December. We're working on we're getting ready to go into production on a movie on Sam. So don't give me any excuses why you can't make it in this country. The only country in the world you can do that. The only country in the world you can pick yourself up by your bootstraps and you can make it. I don't ordinarily get on this kind of a bandstand, but it has bothered me. Watching the news and watching the tweets with our president, with other people, and going back and forth, I will be forever grateful that God put my life in the United States of America. Has there been rough times? Sure, there's been rough times. But you know what? This is still the greatest country in the world. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't move out of here. You couldn't make me move. So I thought it funny during the election where you had different celebrities go, if Donald Trump wins, they're moving. I noticed they haven't moved yet. I noticed they're still living here. And you have a right. You have a right to free speech. You have a right to protest. You don't have a right to be violent. You don't have a right to stop someone else's free speech. I love these individuals that are standing up for the athletes, and you know what? That's their right. If they want to do that, that's up to them. But they're standing, you know, and they're standing with them. Yet some of those same people will be on your college campuses and trying to stop anyone that is going to make a speech that they don't agree with. United States of America, let me tell you one thing that you have a right to. You don't have a right to happiness. You have a right to pursue happiness. The pursuit of happiness is what you have a right to. Every one of us come into this world, and we can talk about how disadvantaged or we are, or how advantaged someone else has. There are no excuses in life. You either do it or you don't do it. I love every one of you that have turned on this morning, and we will be back. We will be back next Sunday, back in our office, and I guess we were rather controversial last week, and we have a lot of questions that I will try to answer, and that from that message last week. I do want to say one little thing. I got a question that asked me to repeat where the theory of the rapture came from. Well, that started in 1830 by a lady named Margaret McDonald, and she attended a church that a man named John Irving had started. Now, you may not know John Irving, but the name of the church is the Apostolic Catholic Church, the first Catholic church. That was their name to start with. And he was one of those that started that. She was a member of his church, and she's also a member of Edgar Casey's prayer group. And in Edgar Casey's prayer group, she would put herself into a self-imposed trance and then would describe it. In one of these self-imposed trances, she saw people going up. In that meeting was a very close friend of Edgar Casey's named C.I. Scofield that wrote the Scofield Reference Bible. For the first time ever in reference notes was notes by Scofield on the rapture. Somebody said, well, what's the problem with that? Well, the first problem is that was 1,800 years after Jesus died and was resurrected. Why would God, for 1,800 years, leave his followers ignorant if this was such a fact? By the way, John Irving was kicked out of the organization that he helped start for teaching on the sinfulness of Christ's humanity, for teaching on the sinfulness of Christ's humanity. So that gives you a little overview of where the rapture theory started, and we will talk a lot more on the questions that I got last week. I love you. We got to get back into our group here. We have 10,000 that are doing a 5K walk today. Most of them survivors, and then those that have been their caretakers. We love you. I want to pray for you. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this opportunity to minister and to speak to these wonderful people. And I ask that you touch all those that's been affected by the disasters that has happened in this past week. Those in Texas, those in Florida, those in the Dominican Republic, those in there in Puerto Rico. Lord, I ask that you touch them. I ask that you touch friends of mine. I ask that you touch Donna Weiss, that she recovers quickly. I ask that you touch a close friend, Scott Ross, that has had cancer of the tongue. I ask that you touch him and give him strength. And touch everyone that's under the sound of my voice. And I ask it in your name. Amen. God love you. I'll see you next week.